Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. And today you can see me holding three different types of bokkens. Maybe you don't see very well the difference between these two, but I will explain it. And the TANREN bokken. So we'll talk a little bit about the difference between these three types of bokkens and how do we practice and why do we practice using a TANREN bokken as well. Let's have a look. So first, let's have a look at these two bokkens. So the dark one is actually a basic bokken that we use most of the time in Aikido practice. Most of Aikido schools would use this one. It's quite thin and light, and it's easy to practice with it. The other one that I have here, it's called the Iwama bokken. So the Iwama bokken is a bit thicker, maybe you cannot see it from here, but it's a bit thicker and more solid than the basic bokken, than the standard bokken. Okay, and in our style we use the Iwama bokken. I mean, we practice the Iwama style basically, but we use the Iwama bokken because we tend to strike with a lot of energy, with a lot of force, and these thin bokkens, sometimes they might break or get damaged from this. So we use the Iwama bokkens that are more solid. So this is the way why we practice with Iwama bokkens, normally all the drills using a bokken. Okay, so I will put this thin one away. And actually now we have this TANREN bokken, which looks a bit different already from both of the other ones. So both the basic bokken and the Iwama bokken, they are actually shaped a little bit like a katana. Okay, while the TANREN bokken, it's straight. But the idea of practicing with the TANREN bokken is to use its weight to improve our alignment with the weapon as we do the movements. Okay, so the Iwama bokken is already probably close to twice as heavy as the standard bokken when we use it. The TANREN bokken is, I would estimate, around 3 times the weight of an Iwama bokken, so it's much heavier. And the thing is that I will be switching between the weapons now a little bit. As we practice with the Iwama bokken, we might have a tendency, if we don't have a lot of expertise yet and maybe we are beginners, we might have a tendency to use our muscles to do the cuts or the strikes. Okay, which with the weight of the Iwama bokken or of the standard bokken is still quite easy to do. I mean, you will get tired after some time, but you can make it. Now, if I switch to the TANREN bokken, there is a lot more weight, especially at the far end. So if I try to use my muscles to hold the bokken and to do the movements, I will get tired very quickly. My muscles will get tired and will be hurting. Okay, so also when I want to stop the cut, when I finish the cut and I want to stop, I need to have really solid support from the base, from the center, and from the structure of the body. Otherwise, when I just try the muscles, it will pull me down. There is a lot of weight at the end, so it creates a leverage on my hands. So unless I can deal with it, it will be very difficult for me to use the TANREN bokken and to do any kind of movements, cuts, or whatever, right? So I've explained what is the purpose of using the TANREN bokken, this heavy piece of wood, in our practice. But how do we use it? How do we train with it? The basic way of using a TANREN bokken is to practice the suburi with the TANREN bokken instead of a regular bokken or an Iwama bokken. Okay, so maybe I will start really the form of the first suburi. And then we start just with the first suburi, right? So I just go up and down. And really, like, the basic thing for the first suburi is as I slide back, I want to get my center. The feeling is that I want to get my center underneath the bokken and push the bokken up from underneath. So when I push the bokken up, I actually push it only up against the gravity, and I don't need to bother about this additional weight pulling down on that side. So this is This is more difficult to get it up like this because I need to counter the weight which is creating the leverage on the other side, right? So I want to get underneath and only then get up. Okay, so now let's do the suburi. So up and strike. Up and strike. So getting underneath, behind the back, and striking. Okay, and with a heavy boken, if you use a lot your muscles after 2-3 times, you will be like, okay, I start feeling my muscles, right? If you use your base, your body, your structure, you can continue like this for a long time, because you're actually not using a lot of biceps for this movement or triceps, and then you can just easily continue. And even stopping the boken, I mean, if you use your center and the structure to stop it, it's easier to stop it than trying to slow it down and break using your arms, your muscles, okay? So this was the first suburi. And then, of course, we can go through the practice of all the others, and with every suburi, we will add something new to the exercise. We can have a second, where we align above our head, and then strike down as we move forward. We can take the third, where we have this gathering the energy, moving up, accumulating energy, preparing for the strike, moving back. So we also need to align well to manage the weight at the end of the boken. And then coming up and striking with a lot of energy, which means that also we need to stop a lot of energy at the end of the strike. Okay, when we get into the fourth and fifth, I will just do them in place, so changing feet, the fourth, changing sides, the fifth going around the head. So here it's really important, because many people, especially in the beginning, they have a tendency to make a shortcut here and come from the side of the head rather than going fully behind the back and be behind the center line for striking. So if you do the shortcut with the TANREN boken and you get hit on your ear, on your head, it really hurts. So it's a good idea to have a good control of the movement when you do it. And make sure that you go fully behind your back, above the head with the hands and behind your back before you strike. Okay, and then of course there are the 6 and 7, where you would be striking and piercing or thrusting, striking and thrusting. And again, it's the extension of the thrust, but you need to support from your base and not only from your muscles, otherwise it gets very quickly, very heavy and painful for your body. And for me, the most funny thing about the TANREN practice is, TANREN boken practice is that after 10-15 minutes of practice using the TANREN boken, when you're getting back to the regular boken, it's so light you actually don't really even feel it in your arms. So you can move with it around completely freely, and it's like as if you're having nothing in your hand. It's just the hands almost go up themselves, you know. So it's really the funny part, getting back to the normal weight of the boken. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and continue watching on our channel. We'll be putting up many more videos around Aikido, techniques, practice, explorations, and other stuff. See you again soon.